The following is a production of ISD TV.
Hello, I'm Caleen Allen, General Manager of Strategic Partnerships, and welcome to Community Connections. Crescent Real Estate Equities, a 2005 Partnership Hall of Fame inductee, sponsors Faces of Change, a partnership among Crescent employees, tenants, and Crescent Foundation, and selected schools. Since 1997, Crescent has partnered with 2 HISD schools every 3 years. The partnership activities have varied depending on the school's needs. Joining me today are Frank Staats, VP of Property Management at the Houston Center, and Robert Carlen, Vice President of Property Management at Greenway Plaza. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. Why don't you tell me, Frank, a little bit about Crescent Real Estate Equities and what you do in the community?
Sure. Crescent Real Estate is a mixed-use real estate development company, and it's based out of Fort Worth. They have a large presence here in Houston and Dallas. In Houston, they have about 10 million square feet of commercial office space, one of the largest in the city, with Bob Carlen at Greenway Plaza and Post Oak Central, and I'm downtown at Houston Center. So they're large commercial real estate buildings.
Okay, and as I mentioned in the intro, you all are a HISD Hall of Fame partner, and that was back in 2005. Tell us a little bit, Bob, about why Crescent has been such a long-time partner with the district and what it means to your company.
You bet. Well, our founders, Richard Rainwater and John Goff, created Faces of Change with an emphasis toward helping school children in the communities where we do business. And of course, HISD is our partner here. We've been in partnership, I believe, about 15 years now. And we're getting probably more than we're giving out of the program. We've given over $1 million, but I think we've probably gotten about $2 million in return joy and pleasure from this particular group of students. But it's not only the kids, it's the teachers as well. And we're also challenging our peers in the business community to stay involved and make education better in Houston.
Right. Now, you touched on Faces of Change, which is, your flagship program. Give me a little bit more information about the program and how it actually works.
Sure. We have 3-year increments where we will choose, as an example, Houston Center, we'll choose a school and stay with it for 3 years, primarily because it takes a little bit of time to make a major impact, and that's the goal. We have a golf tournament every year that raises about $30,000 that we share among our properties here in Houston. We have recycling programs where we take the funds that we get from recycled building materials and put it back into a budget for the schools. We then sit down with the schools each time we change and set up a 3-year plan with the teachers and what do they need? And it doesn't have to be just for the kids. As an example, it's also for the teachers. So we've funded everything from refrigerators to water fountains, but it is a focus on the kids and the educational aspect.
So so the 3 years, is it once you select X number of schools? How many schools have you selected during the 3 years?
Well, we're each on about 5 schools now after that 15-year period.
Okay.
Greenway's a little different because we started in 1997 with 2 schools. We were way over ambitious, and so we went back to 1 school. But we've served 15 schools so far, and we're coming up on a new cycle next year, so we're looking for another school.
And tell me a little bit about the selection process. How do you identify the school that would be the best fit for your program?
We'll select a committee, and it'll involve folks from our corporate office, from our group at say Houston Center, and then we'll also invite some of our customers in the complex because we want them to be part of it too, because if we can sort of leverage what we do over our, say, 3 or 4 office buildings, could be 9,000 to 10,000 people in the complex, and they have a lot of resources, they have a lot of things that they want to use, so we try and leverage what we do out through our complex. So we'll get them part of the selection committee, and we'll go interview, we'll go look at the schools, and the schools do an unbelievable job of making a presentation. you cannot make a bad decision because they all want to have this partnership, and so it makes it very tough. but it's really one of the really neat days that we do, and we have to go make a tough decision. And so you find something about it, something about, you know, that maybe it's a special needs school, or it's a music program, or something about it that seems to connect to what we, you know, that what we're trying to do, and or that you see that they need something that we feel like we have something that can contribute. Could be landscaping or something that we feel like we can help them with. And so you look to see where what you think will be a good fit, and then you go to work, and then you start building the program on what you're going to do over those 3 years.
Okay. Now, Mr. Carlen, I know that Longfellow was one of the schools that participated in the past, and they got a bonus year. What was that about? What made them so fortunate so that some of the other schools can maybe learn?
Well, I'd like to make up a grand answer, but the truth is, the truth is we were between ownership changes, and we were at the end of Longfellow's 3-year period, and we thought, well, in all fairness to a new school and to Longfellow, we should probably stay here for another year and give them the benefit of our participation. Plus, Longfellow had just completed a brand new school, and they needed a lot of things. So that extra year gave us an opportunity to help them with those extra items.
Okay. Now, your company also participates in Real Men Read. You've had some involvement with that?
We do, and I'm smiling because that's my favorite program.
Well, then why don't you talk about a little bit about it?
Well, I don't mean to hog the time, but we, Dr. Samples brought that to our attention a couple of years ago, and so not only, you know, buying the books, and I believe there are 6 in a series, and then the important piece is to bring in a professional that book might be about, like a fireman, as an example, in uniform, policeman. So you can bring him into the classroom, and if a child is got a fear of a policeman or a fireman or whatever, a doctor, hopefully it takes some of that fear away. But more importantly, it really brings to the classroom that real life person reading that story.
Yes.
So I love the program. I think it's great.
Yeah. And Frank, why do you think it's so important for our young students to see professional males coming into the school, taking time away from their business day to, you know, encourage them and talk about literacy and such?
Well, one of my favorite schools and one of my great memories was Bruce Elementary, which was probably 1999 when we started it. And this is a wonderful school. It's just this, it's a not the best neighborhood, but the school is absolutely wonderful. And you go in there and you could just see how everything transforms. And as we went in there, I remember there was Miss Montgomery and Mr. Bryant there at the school, and they told us, they said, you know, some of these kids, the only time they go downtown is they go see an element, which is not, you know, it's not, when they hear they're going to make a trip downtown, it may be to, you know, for some reason to go get somebody who may be incarcerated or what have you, and so go visit someone. So they didn't have good memories of downtown. And so we wanted to bring them downtown to see office buildings, to come see our environment, to go look at the central plants, and we took them on tours. And they played music in our lobbies. They had this great band. And so to them, so many had never been downtown. This was a big trip for them to go do this. And so to go do something in this positive way. And so, you know, it just put, and so to get the folks downtown connected with a school which was literally in the shadows of downtown, and to realize, you know, how they could all, what these kids could aspire to, plus what we could do to help these kids, which were just, you know, right outside of downtown Houston. And so it really opened them up, and some of these kids, you know, I still think about. There's one who's a all-city trumpet player, you know, and so you wonder, you know, here he was in 4th grade, you know, what is he, did he keep after it, you know, and is he still playing today? So built some great relationships, and we, you know, and I think for the people in our company to get a chance to go out to the school and spend a little time tutoring, mentoring with them, it's a wonderful, you know, it's a nice release from what we do in our everyday work.
Okay, and Bob, we're starting to wrap it up, but talk a little bit about the company being one of the Hall of Fame inductees. I mean, that's a big honor. We're getting ready to come up on our annual partnership breakfast. So what would you say to some of the companies that are partnering with HISD and what it means to be in a Hall of Famer?
Get busy. We're already there. No, that honor went all the way to the top. Richard Rainwater and John Goff, the owners of our company, they couldn't have been happier, and nor could any of us who participated in it, because not that we were looking for recognition, but it's always nice for someone outside your group to say, hey, you know, you're doing something right. So that meant a lot to us. But more importantly, we hope we're making an impact with the children and the teachers, and that's really what it's all about.
Well, you are making an impact, a major impact, and we thank you both and your company and all the employees who take their time and effort to support the students at HISD and the teachers and the parents as well, because public education is so important, but we can't do a lot of the things that we get accomplished without your partnership. So please, on behalf of the district, we thank you so much, and we thank you for sharing your information today, and hopefully you'll encourage some of your colleagues out there that are in other business sectors to get involved with the district.
We sure will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.